And on this video, we're going over the state of the 2021 Tampa Bay Rays. Let's get into it. What's going on, Ledger Nation? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast on the Laracuente Ledger Network. And as I said in the open, today we will be discussing the state of the 2021 Tampa Bay Rays. But before we get into it, make sure if you haven't already done so and you love the content that we're bringing you here on the Ledger Network, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below, as it does a huge service for us and allows us to continue bringing you the content that you continue to enjoy. So let's get into it. Now, when we look at what the Tampa Bay Rays are going to be in 2021, we have to take a look back at this offseason, most notably the trading away of Blake Snell. Now, many people will think that the trading away of Blake Snell is a move by the Tampa Bay Rays of kind of signaling forfeit. I, however, disagree. I think that the player that the Rays brought back in Luis Patino is going to be a huge asset for them in 2021. I think when you look at the way that Tampa has run their organization from the beginnings of their analytically driven pursuits, this has been a team that has always been a step ahead of everybody else in terms of their player evaluation. They seem to find diamonds in the rough and underlying gold valuable assets. It's no secret that Blake Snell was unhappy with the way he was removed from that World Series game, and he was very vocal about that. So moving away from Blake Snell was going to be something that needed to have happened for the Tampa Bay Rays in order for them to succeed in 2021. And bringing in a dynamic arm like Luis Patino is only going to help them. Now, we would see the Rays also continue their acquisition of pitchers by bringing in Rich Hill, Colin McHugh, and bringing back Chris Archer. When you look at what all three of these players mean for the Tampa Bay Rays, they're going to genuinely add a lot of depth to that rotation. And we know that over the last few years, Tampa Bay has been a full pitching staff attack, as they've employed the opener more than just about everybody in the league. And when you look at what they're going to have with the starters that they have, they could very easily tandem start and piggyback and begin pushing on the next level of starting pitching innovation with guys like Rich Hill and Colin McHugh. The signing/re-signing of Chris Archer, to me, is a huge move because of the fact that we know that Archer found his greatest form of success under a Tampa Bay banner. Getting back to the staff that knows him the best, in my opinion, is only going to stand to help Chris Archer return back to the dominant form that we once saw him in. Is he going to be the ace that he was when he was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates? Maybe not. But this is going to be a spot where he is very comfortable, and to me, a comfortable Chris Archer makes for a very uncomfortable American League. Now, before we get into the state of the rotation, make sure you check out our link down in the show notes below, as we do have a corresponding article up over on LaracuenteLedger.com. When you check out the article there, make sure you leave a like and a comment there as well, as it continues to help the channel and the website. So make sure you keep it locked into the full Ledger Network here on YouTube, as well as on LaracuenteLedger.com, as well as our sister channel WeSips. Links to everything will be down in the show notes below. So now, as we jump into the state of the rotation for the Tampa Bay Rays, again, pitching staff as a whole is really the mindset that the Tampa Bay Rays will employ. Having guys like Luis Patino, Chris Archer, Rich Hill, Colin McHugh, among whoever else they decide to throw out there as a starter/opener, is going to help them kind of suffer and sustain and survive through the loss of Blake Snell via trade and Charlie Morton via free agency. There's something to be said about the way that Tampa Bay runs their organization, and it's built upon pitching. Now, it's not just starting pitching, so as we look at the state of the bullpen for the Tampa Bay Rays, this is where they tend to stand as the far and away best in the major leagues, not just the National League or American League. When you look at what Tampa Bay does from a bullpen perspective, it's a full pitcher assault. This type of mentality, this type of mindset going in from a manager like Kevin Cash that filters down from the front office really helps this team kind of know that it's about the mixing and matching and the strengths of individual players against specific teams and the specific lineups that really benefits this team. There aren't going to be many names that really stand out coming out of the bullpen for the Tampa Bay Rays, but they're all going to be very hard throwers. We know the stable of 98ers that was the mantra from last season. that led them all the way to the World Series. And when you look at what this team is going to be able to run out there in 2021, it's going to be very similar feel. Guys that are going to throw hard and be able to dominate coming out of that bullpen. That's why, to me, this pitching staff as a whole has to be looked at kind of together, and not the separation of really rotation and bullpen, but as a pitching staff as a whole, more so than any other team in the major leagues. Now, as we jump into the state of the offense here for the Tampa Bay Rays, there's no doubt about it that there's really only two guys on this team, in my opinion, offensively speaking, that are planted at their spot: Willy Adames and Kevin Kiermaier. Outside of that, I think that there's a lot of versatility and a lot of moving parts for the Tampa Bay Rays. When you look at what they have on their roster each and every year, there's a lot of guys that play multiple positions that come in and do damage when you least expect them to. This is a team that is going to be about the sum of the parts, not the individual parts. And it's because of that versatility that it makes them so hard to game plan for each and every time for every team in the American League and the American League East. I think that it is going to be a very competitive team based on the way that they've just functioned throughout the last several years with this kind of mixing and matching mentality that they have. And it is a very similar feel to how they are with their pitching staff as a whole. Now, as we jump into the state of the franchise, many people saw the trading away of Blake Snell and the not re-signing of Charlie Morton as a signal that the Rays were going to kind of start rebuilding once again. I believe that that's a false narrative, and that should no longer be the case and no longer be seen as the case with this Tampa Bay Rays team. We've seen over the last several years how they're able to mix and match and interchange parts seemingly at will. When one guy goes down, they bring another guy that replaces him that's almost exactly the same type of player. This is why they're so dynamic and so dangerous, because they're not built around one specific guy or even one specific type of style. When you look at, let's say, my New York Yankees, if the Yankees lose Aaron Judge, that's a huge blow. If they lose Giancarlo Stanton, it's a big time blow. However, with Tampa, they have so many interchangeable parts that you almost don't miss a beat when somebody goes down for this team. Yes, they faced a lot of injuries in 2020, just like many teams did, but they were able to mix and match and were able to really solidify themselves as they made their postseason run. And that's because of the versatility that is filtered throughout the entire roster and the entire organization. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What are your feelings about the Tampa Bay Rays? Where will they end up in the 2021 rankings for the American League East and the American League as a whole? Do they make it back to the postseason? Do they make it back to the World Series? Let me know your thoughts on this all down in the comment section below, and we'll discuss it further. As always, if you haven't already done so, make sure you smash that like, subscribe, and bell to stay notified each and every time we drop new content here on the Laracuente Ledger Network. There's a ton of new things coming for us here in 2021, so make sure you keep it locked in. We're 2 days away from the Snyder Cut, and there will be a channel-wide blitz here from the Laracuente Ledger Network in collaboration with our sister channel, WeSibs. The Wedger Nation will have a full barrage of Snyder content, Snyderverse content, coming on Thursday, so make sure you keep it locked in, and the best way to do that is by hitting that subscribe button down below and the bell so that you're notified every time we drop content. As always, to get the full Laracuente Ledger Network picture, make sure you head over to patreon.com. Join us there, as your support allows us to continue bringing you each and every week even more content. Check out our sister channel, WeSibs. Again, links down in the show notes below for their channel. So I will catch you guys with the latest news, notes, or my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions have to be dropped about the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.